boy's hands trembled as he slipped the small bottle into his worn backpack, his heartbeat pounding louder than the night silence. Outside, sirens wailed in the distance, but inside, a mother clung to fading breath. What he had just done could ruin his life, but saving hers? That was worth everything. Introduction and setup. The sun dipped low over East Side, a neglected neighborhood stitched together by cracked sidewalks and peeling paint. The scent of damp earth mixed with exhaust fumes and distant church bells tolled, softly, a melancholy hymn against the backdrop of worn brick tenements. In a cramped, dim apartment on 4th Street, Marcus sat by the bedside of his mother, Clara. The pale glow of a single lamp cast long shadows across her fragile frame, her chest rising shallowly with each breath. Around them, the room was sparse. Threadbare curtains hung limp over cracked windows. An old scratched wooden chair stood empty nearby, and the faint ticking of a broken clock punctuated the stillness. Marcus's gaze lingered on his mother's face, marked by worry and pain. The relentless cough that racked her thin body had turned deadly. Tuberculosis, the doctor had said, a slow thief of breath and life. The medicine was expensive, nearly impossible to afford. With his father long gone and no family to turn to, Marcus was alone in the fight. The worn shoes on Marcus's feet mirrored his spirit, scuffed, battered, but moving forward no matter the obstacles. His fingers clutched a crumpled photo of better days, a laughing Clara holding him close, promising that no matter what, they would get through this. Conflict or challenge introduced. The next morning, Marcus found himself outside the cold, imposing walls of Mercy Hospital. The waiting room buzzed with a dozen faces, tired, desperate, and hopeless. He approached the pharmacy counter with trembling steps, clutching a handful of coins that barely covered a single dose of the medicine his mother needed. "Sorry, kid," the pharmacist said bluntly, eyes scanning the coin handful with indifference. "You don't have enough. This medicine costs $300. Marcus swallowed the lump in his throat. He needed weeks of doses, not just one pill. Outside, the hospital, the world felt colder than the morning air. Marcus paced, restless, his thoughts racing. That's when he noticed the unattended medicine cart parked near the loading bay, rows of labeled bottles shining faintly under the flickering light. His heart thundered in his chest. He glanced around. No one watching. The decision hit him like a thunderclap. His mother needed that medicine. Every second she waited, her life slipped further away. He reached out, grabbing a bottle and stuffing it inside his backpack. A distant footstep made him freeze. He darted away into the shadows, breath ragged, knowing that what he'd done could brand him a criminal. But in his heart, it felt like the only choice left. Midpoint revelation or twist days passed. Clara's coughing worsened, but with the stolen medicine, she slowly began to regain some strength. Marcus spent sleepless nights by her side, her faint smiles like fragile flames in the dark. One afternoon, a sharply dressed man arrived at their apartment. His tailored suit and confident air seemed from another world entirely. The man introduced himself as Mr. Langston, a billionaire philanthropist, with a foundation focused on healthcare access. He explained how he had heard of Marcus's desperate act through the hospital staff. Instead of anger, he saw courage, a boy willing to risk everything to save his mother. He revealed that the hospital bill was staggering, and he had quietly been covering unpaid bills for children like Marcus, ensuring no family was crushed by medical costs. With a gentle smile, Mr. Langston handed Marcus an envelope thick with money, enough to cover Clara's treatment and more. "You didn't have to steal," Mr. Langston said softly, "but I'm glad you fought with all your heart. Let me fight with you now." Marcus blinked back tears. Hope, once so distant, now glimmered before him like a rising sun. Climax, emotional breakthrough. Weeks later, in the sterile glow of the hospital ward, Clara sat up in bed for the first time in months. Her eyes shone with gratitude and relief as Marcus held her hand tightly. "You saved me," she whispered. voice hoarse but steady. "No," Marcus replied, voice cracking. "You're not broken, Mom. You're becoming." Outside the window, the first warm rays of spring sunlight spilled into the room. The broken clock on the wall ticked steadily now, as if marking time for a new beginning. The nurse, once skeptical of the family's odds, watched quietly, her heart softening. The city outside carried on, unaware of the miracle unfolding within the worn apartment on 4th Street, resolution and quiet closure. Months passed. Clara returned home healthy, laughter echoing through the cramped apartment. Marcus enrolled in school again, dreams rekindled. Mr. Langston's foundation continued to support the community, inspired by Marcus's bravery and hope. One evening, as the sun dipped low and the sky blazed orange, Marcus stood by the window holding the crumpled photo once more. But this time he smiled. From the broken, battered shoes to a journey of redemption and kindness, his story was no longer one of survival alone, but of hope passed forward.